Season 1 of Last of Us. We got Joel and his daughter in the opening scene, the inciting incident. Great opening. Excellent. Excellent. Spoilers taken out, right? We move along with the story and we get introduced to Ellie. Now, these two are pretty much the focus of season 1 with more backstory visual filled out because he was in the inciting incident in the opening scene. That's a powerful opening scene that sticks with us, right? These two stand out. They take up a lot of space in season 1. We get one excellent episode with Bill and Frank, and they're never seen again. Okay? Great season 1. Come into season 2 now, right? Onward pastures. We're moving on with the story. We get to season 2 now. And these guys come across Abby, right? Spoilers. And then these two continue here. And there's other characters and they come in and out, but we don't get another impactful episode like we did in the first season with Bill and Frank. We don't get that impact in season 2. Right? So I'm not even gonna go into it too much. So we get these two now going back and forth in season 2. And we have a lot of stuff swirling around for season 3 where it's a lot of focus on Abby, right? Now, when we lose Joel, we lose a lot of the pull of the show because the show focused on him a lot. He was a driving force in the show. He was a driving force in the show. Ellie was there. She did stuff. It was coming along and everything, but he was a driving force. So when we lose him, we lose a lot of the heart of the show with him on here. So Abby coming in is not the story beats. Stick with me here. The story beats aren't horrible here. They aren't horrible beats. The problem is the way in which it was done. And I think, in my heart of hearts, I've been thinking about this since the second game came out, right? Is that the way she was introduced is a problem. In the second game, you play up until Joel gets taken out, and then you get backstory on Abby, like playing with her for about roughly 10 hours, I believe. And then you flip back and forth, Ellie, Abby throughout that game. Now, what they proposed for season 3 and what we have had happen here, generally, if you had done here, this would be a lot better. I think the whole tone of everything would have been a lot better. You go through season 1, Joel and Ellie, come to season 2, introduce Abby, or alternatively, that episode we spent with Bill and Frank, we start introducing Abby instead. Because it's a great episode, but it's a filler episode. Because they don't impact the show moving forward. And you're introducing people later on who is like, who's this? Where's it? What's happening? And then you're filling us in after, and we already don't care. We don't like the character. Introduce the character first before you go in. This could have been an epic season 3. What happened? Joel getting taken out in season 2. This could have been epic season 3. Like, save this for here. We get invested into these characters. We get invested into Abby and her side and her factions and stuff like that. And then you have them clash. But I think why they did this the way they did is ultimately because of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones had Sean Bean, the epic, right? Come in, dies at the end of the first season. And I think they wanted to replicate that. Instead of Sean Bean dying at the end of season 1 Game of Thrones, we have Joel die right here in season 2. But the thing that Game of Thrones has that Last of Us didn't is current storytelling, right? You have actually maybe not this one. You have all this happening. So you have maybe Bill and Frank as a through line, and they come back. You have some stuff with Abby going on, and then you have Joel and Ellie. And this is all season 1. So by the time you go to have these three meet and have a conflict in season 2, right? Joel gets taken out, but you still have Bill and Frank. And we already have backstory to Abby. So we know what she's going for. Maybe they keep it a secret as to who it is exactly, that hey, I'm gonna get the guy who killed my dad, but you don't know it's Joel until they meet. And we all meet at the same time. But you have to flesh Abby out before you meet. You don't flesh her out after. You flesh her out before you meet. And this is the biggest mistake that the game made, and the show repeated the same mistake. It didn't change anything. So we're here. There's nothing to be done. The show's ruined for a lot of people. Season 3, we'll see what happens. But I think this was a mistake, having Bill and Frank take up an episode. It was 8 episodes in the first season, never come back. That time could have been given to something else. It could have been given to somebody who pops up later on. Oh, I remember that person from season 1. They don't pop in. It's a storytelling decision, sure, but with how mishandled Abby's story was, everything needs to matter. You didn't have time to sit here and tell us stories about people who don't come back, given the fact that we get introduced to this big player, and now later on in this game and for season 3, we get so much of Abby's story that could have been told earlier.